Welcome to this edition of the EDJ Whitetails, November 14th, evening edition. Quick hunt tonight, Friday night after work. It is warm, warm, warm. 71 I saw in the truck thermometer on the way home. That is hot for November 14th. But we're hoping to maybe have some hot rut action. What do you say? I think we're due, aren't we? Let's roll with it. Welcome to the EDJ Whitetails. All right, welcome back. Once again, you got me on the walk-in. These quick ones after work are, while can be productive, I kind of try and multitask everything I do here. So, headed in, we have a south wind. Now, it is predicted to swing out of the southwest before 5, but I'm not going to rely on that prediction. Right now, it's straight south, straight out of the south. We're going to the northeast stand, which I can still look across that river bottom, kind of over towards where that stand is back by the river. Can't quite see that far, but I can see what's going on in that river bottom. And with the south wind, it should blow out to our north. That shouldn't affect too much. I think we can get away with it. It shouldn't blow into the hinge cut or the bedding areas up in the neighbor's property. And we can slip in there real easy tonight after work. So that's the plan we're going to roll with. As you saw, finishing up last night, a couple does come out on the food plot. Otherwise, pretty unproductive in this heat. A lot of stuff moved overnight, according to the cameras. As you would imagine, we're going to go in tonight and see if we can bring y'all some action. So hang with me here. All right, we are in the stand, and as you can see, it's a pretty view in here. Beautiful evening, temperature-wise and all that. Wind real light. Even in this sweatshirt, felt like I was ready to break a sweat again coming in, but got in here what I feel like pretty clean. And we had actually been up in the stand 3-4 minutes. I was kind of getting stuff in order, and I saw a doe running through the woods down to the south of us. And I don't know if she was getting chased or what, because I had already been in the stand for quite a while, so within, consider, relatively speaking, but had been in the stand quite a while, that it wouldn't have been, I don't think, from us. But pretty good setup. It's still hunting a rut funnel and a cruising type spot. One thing I noticed is both scrapes under us, there and there, are tore up freshly, not a leaf in it. And while this is November 14th, and you would have thought scrapes have been, they'd have been kind of over those towards the end of October. One thing you can rely on is a buck will start checking scrapes, and believe you me, he knows where each of those scrapes is at. Now, scrapes aren't deer specific, but they all know where the signposts are at. That's basically all that is a signpost. Does use them, fawns use them, bucks use them. They will come back if they're looking for a doe, if they're seeking out a doe. They will come back and rework them scrapes and see what doe might be in the area or if she's ready. So it's encouraging to see those opened up. And, maybe we can, even though it's 70 degrees, get some sort of action going here. I've had, warm evenings in the past, years and years ago, where have good rutting activity on a warm day. But as I've said in the last few videos, it's now November 14th and anything can happen. So we're going to enjoy the scenery and the beautiful weather. And maybe I won't have to make up a game plan for tomorrow, but we'll find out. That big old owl, you're hunting just like I am. It's probably thinking the mice don't move very well in the warm weather either. Pretty cool. I've seen that owl in here quite a bit, and I've never really been able to get him on film, as you've obviously seen. But from a good distance today, we were able to do that. So hope it showed up okay, but pretty cool nonetheless. But I think it's a little after. It's 4:18. Haven't seen any action. Not that I'm super surprised. It's still temps in the upper 60s. We're getting closer to dark, but we've got a little less than an hour left, so we're gonna see what happens. And I'm already cooking up a plan for tomorrow morning. So follow along. We'll finish it up after a while here. So it's shortly after 5, and haven't seen anything. Well, squirrels. Not real surprising, honestly. It is so warm, and it's gotten so still back here. You can hear a pin drop. Squirrels have kind of driven me nuts because of that, because you can hear stuff 150 yards away. And I always wonder. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video right now and try and slip out of here and not get, last night I actually got stuck in the stand for a little while because them does come out of the food plot. I had to wait for them to leave. So I'm going to bump out a little bit ahead tonight and not have that issue. I'm still going to give it a few minutes here, but not very long. One thing I wanted to touch on before we go, though, is what I talked about earlier is hunting over scrapes in mid-November. While it didn't work out tonight, if you got an area that's littered with scrapes and it's also a travel corridor, that's definitely a spot to be right now. I wouldn't hunt over necessarily just a random scrape out somewhere or a scrape line out along a field edge or something like that. That's not going to do you any good. But if you've got an area that's got a bunch of scrapes in it that's are opened up, or even just one or two scrapes in a travel corridor, it's worthwhile because they will stop and check those scrapes. Bucks know where those scrapes are at, and they will seek them out if they're in search of a hot doe. So keep that in mind as you hunt through this warm spell wherever you're at. Maybe it isn't warm where you're at, but here in Iowa, 70, 72. No, not on November 14th. Like I said, not surprising that we didn't see any movement. So I'm going to go ahead and put a cap on November 14th. I do have a plan, however, for the morning. I'm going to plant my butt right back by the river through that travel funnel. There are a couple scrapes in there, and I'm going to sit as long as I can stand it. It's supposed to be warm tomorrow, supposed to get really windy, but that's going to be my best shot, I think, is to get back by that river and watch that travel corridor. So tune in at some point tomorrow to see the video from that. So for the EDJ Whitetails on November 14th, I'm Eric Johnston, and get outdoors.